भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरुदेव साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। श्लोक संख्या 31-32। क्षिप्रं धौति धर्मात्मा शाश्वत शांतिं निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानीहि न मे भक्त्या प्रणश्यति मां दारुण्यभाषित्य ये विष्णुपापयोनयः श्रेयो वैश्य तथा शूद्र ते अपि यान्ति नरकगतिम्। अर्थात हे अर्जुन, मेरे भक्त का कभी नाश नहीं होता। दुराचारी भी सच्चे मन से मुझे भजने के पश्चात सदा रहने वाली शांति को प्राप्त कर धर्मात्मा हो जाता है। लिंग, जाति और व्यवसाय के आधार पर भी समाज में गौण माने जाने वाले तथा पाप कर्म करने वाले भी यदि मेरी शरण में संपूर्ण भक्ति और समर्पण से आते हैं तो वे भी मोक्ष प्राप्त करते हैं। आज का श्लोक नंबर 33। किम पुनः ब्राह्मणा पुण्या भक्तराजः अनित्यं सुखं लोकम् इमं प्राप्य भजस्व माम्।
Shrimed Bhagavad Gita. We are on the verse number 33, chapter number 9. Let's go down to the words of the verse before we come down upon its interpretation. Kem punah brahmanah punyah bhaktah radarshayah tatha अनित्यम असुखम लोकम इमं प्राप्य भजस्व माम. The reference of this shloka should be taken from its previous one, that is slok number 32, where it was mentioned that even those that under confusion, under certain promiscuity, even if the society considers few classes, gender or profession as below the average, even they, if they propitiate my name, they shall gain liberation. Now here it goes on to further, what then to speak about those who already are considered as the privileged ones, those who are in the pursuit of knowledge, those who have accumulated lot of virtue, those who are devoted ones, and those who, despite of being into affluence, enjoying power, yet are living a life as a detached one. So this particular verse goes on to make its mention the second line of the verse, which is more important. Before that I come down to that, let me create a background for it. The idea that the timeless master wants to convey is to the timeless Arjuna, look Arjun, one thing is very clear. In this life, the opportunity bestowed to you as a human, because life is also the same with any other being, any other species. But as a human, the life which you enjoy is full of the abilities beyond any measure, with special reference to the human mind, human brain. Being born as a human bestows upon you a greater responsibility to understand and excel towards your ultimate objective of human manifestation. What is the ultimate objective of human manifestation? Is it merely to survive under the spell of anxiety, under the spell of fears, under the spell of uncertainty? Go on accumulating and keep surviving and always seeking one gasp of breath where you can say to yourself, this was a moment of joy, unsure about the one to follow. No, Arjuna, it is not so. That is why in this second line, it goes on to mention the word Anityam Asukham Lokam. Anityam means something which is not eternal, not going to stay, prone to change. And Asukham is suffering. Anityam Asukham. Your abode on this planet is subject to these primary riders. Everything is prone to change. Nothing is going to last forever. And you may be seeking happiness, joy, but they're all short-lived and they're not the true form of joy, blissfulness, or happiness. It is very transient, short-lived. You consider it as a happiness, but as I said a while ago, a short spell of joy followed by another spell which is taking you down like a cascading effect. So pain and joy, joy and pain, perpetuating one life after another, one day after another. It's the cycle which goes on moving. So nobody can claim that I am happy. I'm deeply contented, because each one of us has our own individual shortcoming, suffering. You may be affluent on one count, but you may be absolutely a deprived one on the other count. So nobody is conclusive. Arjuna, nobody is concluding upon this sojourn where anityam asukham, everything prone to change, shall not last forever, and everything, every moment is there with a backup of suffering. Backup of suffering? Yes, we try to steal moments of joy, but they again by themselves follow by something which is unpleasant. So Arjuna, why not to come out of that? Why not to liberate? You have been bestowed a human birth in the form of a human, this birth of yours. It's a great opportunity for you to exercise your choice in the favor of the utmost priority. That is the objective of human manifestation, moksharth, liberation. So why not to exercise your prerogative towards your highest priority? Yes, but that does not mean that if you side by your utmost priority, that is liberation, for that you have to abscond from the dispensation of all of your mandatory obligation. No! The unfortunate part with the human is that it wants to side by one kind of a thought. To maintain a balance is very difficult for a human. Very difficult, including me. We want to be sided, we want to be swayed by one aspect. If it is detachment, we want to live our life completely as a sannyasi. We may not be able to live that, but we want to. I have to relinquish myself from everything. I will become total vairagi, sannyasi, do nothing and only cherish, only work into the primary pursuit, that is liberation. Even that becomes painful. It is like a musician trying to attune his or her instrument. The moment the string is tightened more, it goes off track. The moment it is left loose, then again the sound does not come the right sound does not come. For the right kind of sound, its pitch to be tuned, it's somewhere in the middle. And very perspicaciously, the musician with our ears absolutely pervading into the string wants to listen to that balance. And the moment that balance echoes in his or her ears, that's the point they freeze. They say, yes, now it is where we should now be affixed to. The same goes for the human life. Absolute detachment, again troubles. You are going to back out from your dispensation of mandatory obligation, again a karmic bondage. And if you really forget about, become oblivion to detachment, you are again going into the clutches of indulgence. You will be indulged. And again, it will go on to the perpetuating cycle of karma, action, reaction. So where is the balance? The balance is where you stick to the dispensation of all of your mandatory obligation, yet try to instill, cultivate through practice that detachment, inner detachment. While doing everything, anything and everything that is required for you to perform, you yet are distanced within. Is it that easy? No, it is not easy at all. Then how does it further? The furtherance has got something to do with what? The name assigned to a seeker. In Hindi it is sadhak. Not seeker but sadhak. Sadhak means one who is into its primary pursuit but not successful. Every passing moment has to confront the failure. Not successful at all. Failures and failures and failures. By every passing breath there is a failure. Yet does not disembark for even a second from its primary pursuit, from its struggle. Considering that I will only be able to confront failures, yet shall not disembark, will stay there, stay put, keep on struggling. That is understood as a sadhak. Seeker means one who is inquisitive, one who has a quest, one who has a yearning. But sadhak is a step beyond. Sadhak is the one who has already initiated now into the pursuit, now in the middle of the journey, yet confronting failures, not leaving the ground. Confronting failures, not leaving the ground is the sadhak. So a sadhak shall every passing moment not only remain engaged with its absolute firmness into the dispensation of mandatory obligation, yet shall not leave the ground despite of countless failures. So that is the sadhak. Because sadhak knows that unless I am able to attune to that particular pitch, frequency, whatever you may term it, where my dispensation of my obligation and inner distancing comes at a harmony, I keep doing yet remain distanced. Till then, I have to go on and working. Because the moment I will arrive that kind of an equanimity, equilibrium, equipoise within, my journey will not take me to that point where we term in Sanskrit as Utkarsh, evolution. So a seeker will not stop, not halt, has nothing else to lose but to move on. No evaluation of any kind that today was a day of success or failure, joy or no joy, but shall remain the same and comply to the discipline, a certain discipline without any fail. Without any fail shall comply to the ascertained discipline. That is a sadhak. On the contrary, one who is not prepared yet within will experience a day of strict discipline on one day, and on the other day shall find everything thwarted, and for a prolonged period of time then there shall be not this second chance to begin again, to start again. Whereas the seeker, every day is a failure, every following day is another ushering. So for a seeker there is no ending. It's just go on moving, and seek for that point where real attunement shall transpire. So, Arjuna, you have been bestowed the face of a human, abilities of a human, manifestation as a human. Make use of it. Bail out. Liberate yourself by Mam, Bhajasva Mam. Propitiate me. Now, here the misunderstanding goes is when it comes to propitiate the Lord, it means that to sit down and only sing the glory of the Lord. Sit down for certain spiritual practices, japa and meditation alone, doing nothing else. Here the confusion must be clarified once and for all. Seeking liberation by relinquishing duties means furtherance towards accumulation of more of karmic bondage. You have not to abscond, you have not to shun your responsibilities, but to stay there. And while doing everything, remain distanced, yet keep your primary objective always in your mind. That is propitiating the name of the Lord. That must be very rightly understood. Unless that is understood, the liberation will not come. What will come is confusion, dismay. We will misconstrue, create misnomers for our own self, mislead ourselves, and prolong that moment of ultimate liberation. So this must be very rightly understood. I am not supposed to leave anything and everything which I am required to perform. But what I have to develop is an inner endurance, a control upon my impulses through failures, not through success, through failures. Let me start welcoming failures with open arms. If I can develop that kind of an ability within, let me consider that I am becoming strong within. I have gathered strength within, where I start accepting failures with open arms and yet remain intact and grounded in my pursuit. That is the true strength. That is the true strength of a sadhak, where not a seeker but a sadhak. A seeker is step short. A sadhak is already into the pursuit, not a step short. It's no more a mind game, but it's now something which is occurring, something happening with him or with her. Now in the middle of the stream, not standing ashore, but in the middle of the stream, struggling, jostling, confronting all odds, yet has to swim through. Cannot afford to drown itself in the middle of the stream. That's the sadhak. So be a sadhak, and in the capacity of the sadhak, Arjuna, you must go beyond. Develop that kind of inner balance, inner endurance, so that you keep cherishing all in the world outside, at the same time keep evolving in the world inside. So outside and inside, with both the hands, try to maintain a balanced justice, which is very difficult. The learning of yoga, with special reference to Karma Yoga, is all about that. How to try and restore that inner balance. Harmony, if to be given a synonym, not grammatically, not by dictionary, but by the understanding, the spirit of it, harmony means inner balance. If you have inner balance like Janaka, who was Janak, the father of Lord Rama, the father-in-law of Lord Rama, the father of Mother Sita, Ma Sita, he was an emperor and living in a palace, enjoying all might, power, abundance, affluence. Materialistically, there was nothing which he was short of. So he had all affluence, all abundance. Yet he was an example, the epitome of absolute detachment within. He was not indulged into his possessions. His possessions never became his identification. He was always identified what he was within. despite of the fact that he was in the middle of abundance, affluence, materialistically, yet a yogi within. So we have all to develop ourselves, keep pursuing as a sadhak in the capacity of a Janaka. Janak became a Siddha. We are in the middle of our failures, but come what may, those who are confronting countless failures yet sticking onto the ground are those who are bound to become Janaka. Nothing can abstain them, nothing can refrain them from becoming Janaka. They shall become Janak. They shall fructify their primary pursuit, their primary objective of liberation. And that is the assurance given to us by our timeless masters from times unknown. So Arjuna, catch the thread from here and start developing that inner detachment while remaining onto the ground where you are already into the war of your own dispensation of your life, from where every passing moment there is something or the other seeking you to indulge, seeking you to immerse, and then get swayed away by the Maya. No. Insulate, yet perform. Handle the life like the electric current. Two bare wires to be joined by bare hands, but hands have to be insulated by rubber gloves so that you do not become subject to the shock of the electricity. Work with electricity as a companion, yet remain insulated. And this is all with Maya. Maya is like handling electricity. Unless you insulate yourself, you will always be in its shock. The only difference being the physical energy, once a shock is over, game over. But here with the Maya, with the delusion, you call it illusion, here the current is so sweet, its voltage is so sweet that you denigrate within, you do not evolve, yet you remain engaged with it. So Arjuna, this is the learning for you. Stick to the ground, yet through countless failures, attune to that point of equanimity where you are distanced, detached, disassociated, not disembarked. That is the learning of this verse of today. It's all for them. ओम ही सत्य है, ओम ही सत्य है, ओम ही सत्य है.